special edition of the MMA Meltdown Radio Show. Here's Saturday. We got used to competing with the Broncos, so they changed to Saturday, and we changed to Saturday. We're the good luck guys. That's why, Merc.
That's right.
That's how we roll.
Got to do whatever we did last week.
What did we do last week?
We did radio while the game was going on.
Well, we can't do it while the game's going on now.
Well, pregame.
We're close enough. Typically, we start the show off with the inked out
The
Buzz
T-Bows
Block.
versus the Patriots. Let's do this.
You're so excited about it.
I am.
Typically, we start out with the inked out Buzz Block with J.R. Gordon. Unfortunately, our man J.R. Gordon couldn't make it today with the day change, so we're going to do our best to try to fill in his shoes. But if you've seen J.R., those are pretty big shoes to fill.
Oh, yeah. He's a big man.
Yeah.
Powerhouse.
He's like the complete opposite of you.
He's about 1.5 feet taller than me.
A foot and a half, you wish. What are you, like 5'4"?
I like 5'1".
You're technically a short person.
Yeah, I get disability for it.
You get disability. Oh, well, see?
I get to park closer to buildings and stuff.
I wonder.
I have short legs, so it takes me a long time.
I wonder how some of you fighters supplement your income in between fights. And knowing that you can collect that.
I get the handicap parking. You know, my short legs take me longer to get inside the buildings.
We can catch you at Safeway in the little motorized carts that go.
I got a
mile.
Vespa.
What?
You know what a Vespa is?
Yeah.
I'm cruising around town on one of those.
Do you need one of those little step stools to get on it?
Yeah, and then I got like I put like a phone book on the seat, boost me up a little.
Get you some wooden blocks and tie to your shoes. Get you going.
I do have a 4-inch platform shoes I take out when I go dancing.
They got the goldfish in them?
Oh, yeah. You know.
You don't even know. What movie is that from?
You lost me on that one.
What?
You know, I was trying to go with you there, but now you called me on it.
With the goldfish shoes, you don't remember what movie that is?
I don't know what you're saying.
It's a classic movie.
So
classic.
What is it?
It's I'ma Get You, Sucker. You remember? No, you still
I
don't remember.
I remember that movie a little bit.
You lost points.
Is that really a classic?
Well,
Yeah.
Are you serious?
He's stretching the word classic
It is
now.
a classic. I'm Gonna Get You,
It's
Sucker
like
is an
It's
absolute
like a funny
classic.
movie from back in the day. I don't know about a classic.
The dude picks up a chick in a bar, takes her to her place, and she starts taking off her eyelashes, her contacts, her
I think
hair,
I
her
remember
fake leg. That movie's classic. You guys can't hate on that. Yeesh. You guys are ashamed. Ashamed of me. Ashamed of you. A lot of shame going on. You know what I'm not ashamed of?
What's that?
Is it really, Merc? Put it down. Put it down. If you listen to this show on any kind of regular basis, you know that Jay Merc is addicted to his phone.
I have issues.
Yeah,
I need to check into like some sort of rehab or something.
We've tried to fix it with electroshock therapy.
One time I left the phone at the gym and I couldn't get to it till the next day. I was like shaking at night.
Started going through withdrawals.
Yeah.
My skin's burning. Nice.
I was logged on Facebook all night.
Anyway, you know what I was gonna say? What I'm not ashamed of?
What's that?
You interested now?
Let's hear it.
Seeing you fight at the Paramount.
Oh, baby. It's
See,
coming up.
I was being nice to you and everything.
I know. You're trying to give me some love, and I was just ignoring you.
And all for nothing. You know, the Paramount's huge, and a little bit later, we're going to have Doc Alex, huge figure in Colorado
I love
MMA.
that guy.
He's going to call in, and he's going to go head-to-head with Ryan. Ryan's
I think
MMA
Ryan's our
Meltdown
number one
favorite.
fan.
Heck yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I love it.
Now we just got to get more than one fan.
Yeah.
And we'll be all
Right now, Ryan and my mom are our two consistent listeners.
My wife's there too, bro. Don't put
She
him
tells
down.
me I do a great job.
Nice.
She also tells me I'm the most handsome boy in the world.
That's
so.
where you get all that confidence
Yeah.
from.
I just talk to her every day. Pumps me up.
Yikes. I guess as a parent, it's
She
your
says
job
she's
to lie to your
unbiased.
student.
Just
She's
giving-
unbiased?
Yeah, she's unbiased. She's just giving her,
Her honest
real
opinion.
thoughts.
Yeah. Oh, man. But you, and it's funny because Jay Lee called me too. Jay Lee's also on the card. Called me on the drive in here talking stuff about my Facebook post. So shout out to you, Jay Lee, for calling me on that. I don't know what happened. Facebook is going crazy. It's going nuts like your fingers right now.
That's right. Hey, I got to keep the ladies happy.
Easy, man.
Multitasking.
So kind of just a rundown of the Paramount card. Heavyweight title fight. Derek Lewis is matching up against Jeremiah Constant. Jeremiah was on the show a couple weeks back.
Man, I'll tell you what. The big guys at grudge spar before the little guys, and I was in there just watching, and I'm always happy that I'm not a big guy because they hit so hard, but I was watching Jeremiah spar, and he was on point today. He was looking ferocious, attacking, slamming guys. One guy's feet went over the head. Chicken salad just flew in the room now. He was dropping bombs, and then he was all fired up afterwards. He's ready to go. I'm excited for that one.
Jeremiah took me down in the nightclub. Got a full mount
Body
on
slammed
me.
you on the table.
Yeah, I got a full mount. But middleweight title fight, Jeremy Kimball. Also, we've had on the show Jason Lee. That's going to be a great match. Those two are great friends, so it'll be good to see how they put those.
Yeah, it'll be a rematch, so it should be good.
They fought as amateurs, right?
Yep, fight as amateurs for a title a couple years ago. Kimball came out on top on that one. Jason's had a great pro career so far. Jeremy's knocked out some guys, so I think it's perfect time for a rematch. For that 185-pound title, and
it's gonna be awesome.
Obviously, you know who I'm rooting for, but I know Jeremy's a really tough fighter.
Now you have to keep that in check, my friend, because we're unbiased.
You're unbiased. I'm not.
Yeah, that's all right. That's fine. We'll see. Now and then going down the line, 170. Josh Cavan, been on the show a few times.
What a good-looking guy.
Easy. He's got a nice
I'm
smile.
so mad. I was like, gonna say I had the best smile on the card. Then they put Josh Cavan on. I can't even say that anymore.
Nice. He's facing up against Santana Martinez. That'll be a good fight. One of the fights that I'm looking forward to is your last opponent, Brian Wood versus Velour Caballero. Velour's been on the show a few times as well. That's going to be an outstanding matchup. Two different styles matching up against each other. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it should be very good. Velour, he's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu under Amal Easton. He's got really good striking. Of course, Brian's got the really strong really strong takedowns. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how that plays out with Brian trying to put Velour on his back. Of course, Velour's comfortable there, and then we'll see who kind of has that better ground game. It's interesting because we didn't really get to see Brian's wrestling last fight because he was going against me and I was kind of pushing the pace forward more. I expect him to be pushing the pace forward this fight. So
your lay and pray was strong, my friend.
My lay and pray was on point.
It was awesome. I got my own version of lay and pray. I pulled it on Tony over at 303 a couple weeks ago.
What's that? You
sweet.
Pretend you're sleeping
I'll
so he stops choking you?
Nah, it's like fetal position. It's awesome. Going down the line, still 195, Ashley Gooch versus Ian Berg. We were talking about Ian on the way up here. Ian's a great guy who's a former member of Grudge. I seen him at 303 a couple weeks ago. Hopefully we'll have him on the show here within the next couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to get Ian on. Ian's a great guy. He's, another former wrestler like myself, so I always love backing those guys. He's also got, heavy hands, heavy hands. So I actually heard that there's a replacement fight. He's no longer fighting Ashley Gooch. I don't want to kind of jump out and give who he actually is fighting, but I talked to the promoters today, and there's a little bit of change on that fight, I believe.
So he's not fighting Ashley Gooch anymore, huh?
Not from what I've heard, no.
See, if JR was here, he would be right on top of that.
Don't you ever disrespect me like that again.
That's horrible.
I'm giving you inside information.
What kind of inside information is that? You don't even know who he's fighting.
I do know who he's fighting. I just don't want to reveal it before the promoter does.
I
do.
I do. You didn't even tell me anything on the way up.
I'm going to post it on my Facebook.
No, this guy. So, and please feel free to step in if any of the other fights are altered or changed. Josiah Callis fighting Josh Huber. I don't know.
Yeah, I see no way that one is not a war. They're both just super tough guys. They come forward. Josiah has been in a ton of wars where, he's just flinging fists the whole time, taking damage, bleeding. And same with Josh Huber, coming off a big win on Shark Fights. So this is going to be a stand-up battle. I'm sure there'll be some scrambles on the ground, but, they both really kind of make their living on their feet, so it should be awesome.
I like Shark Week.
Shark Week's cool.
It's cool
nothing
up
to
until
do
the
with
last couple of days. Then it's all just repeats.
Yeah, I mean, it has nothing to do with these fights, but, it's cool.
You said shark. It's relatable in that sense. Quit correcting me. After that, Josh Goldberger, we also had him on the show a few weeks back, making his pro debut against 1-0 Matt Cox. That'll be a good fight. Then we got my boy, Jay Mercules, Slam. Are you going to narrow down a nickname at any point soon?
I still like going with Shutout.
Shutout's not too good.
I don't understand why people don't like that.
Because you're more like lay and pray than shutout. Call you Alan P.
What do you mean? I shut out my opponents.
By laying down, by pulling your
taken no
snuggie
damage.
out, getting your pillow pet.
I've taken no damage. I've won dominant decisions or finishes.
Dominant decisions.
I finished 4 of my opponents, 4 of my 6 opponents.
That's all right. We expect that from you.
And there hasn't been a guy that I haven't passed their guard. So
nobody could stop your passing of the guard, and nobody could stop your double leg. Is that what you're saying?
I won't say no one can stop my passing, because if I were to go against a black belt right now, I'd probably spend some time in the guard, but then I'd just drop some bombs from there. So.
I hit you up after I talked to Chad Mendez, and I asked you how your double leg stood up to his double leg, and you had to make a realistic statement there, didn't you?
I did say his double leg was better than mine. I can't lie. He's got a very powerful double leg.
It's nice to see a humble J Merc.
Yeah,
he says. You're fighting Gabe Gonzalez, 1-3. You know, Gabe, all we can say, bro, is good luck. I mean, it's going to be a good match. As always, we just want everybody to get out of the match injury-free, if at all possible, especially for you, J. Merck. You got another fight coming up in February. Continuing down the line there of that card, you got Derek Morales, 1-4, facing Todd Meredith, 0-1. You know, you get into these situations where you got some of these fighters who are looking to get to the 500 mark again with their win-loss column, and you could definitely see a sense of urgency in their eyes when they step in that cage, because for a lot of people, when you get to that into that time of your career and you've got more losses than you do wins, you kind of got to question the career choice there.
Yeah, I think some of these guys just love fighting, you know, and it's, you know, everyone has different reasons for fighting and different goals. I mean, some guys, you know, even doing interviews with guys as on the kind of the reporting side of things, some of them know that they're not going to make it to the UFC, or they don't even have goals of that. You know, they just love fighting. They love getting in there and scrapping. But, you know, for the ones that, you know, maybe they did have those goals of getting to the big time, you know, there definitely is that sense of urgency and desperation to get that win. You know, you put a lot of time into the fights. You know, no one wants to lose. So
yeah. So that's a good point. You know, those are both good points. And then to round out the card, we got two pros making their debut, which is always fun to see when you got two guys from the amateur status making their pro debut, and to be able to make it on a card of this magnitude is awesome. You got 0-0, obviously, Tony Miller versus Abe Alvarado. You know, you and I, J. Merck, we've had the luxury of seeing Abe Alvarado fight too much. I don't think I've seen Tony fight at all. Yeah,
I know Tony. He's a tough guy. I've seen him in the gym. I've stopped by Factory X a couple times, seen him train. He also fought a teammate of mine, Carlos Huerta. So, you know, he went the distance with Carlos, and Carlos, in my opinion, could be one of the best 125-pounders in the world if he decides to really make a career as a professional. But Tony's really tough. Abe's been coming in the grudge. He's a very tough guy. He's a great wrestler. He's got fast hands, has a great chin. So this should be a really good fight.
Fast hands and a great chin.
He does. I mean, his last fight with JJ Mondragon was a war. He took some hard shots, you know, stayed in there, though, and, you know, it was a great fight. So I don't see Miller being able to put him away on the feet. We'll see how it goes on the ground, though.
It's man, I can't even. I got family coming in from out of town to watch this card. I mean, it's that stacked right now. I'm super stoked to see it. And that weekend is awesome, because also that weekend is the 2011 American Ground and Pound Colorado MMA Awards.
That's right. Should be a great weekend.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm presenting it, though, so hopefully I don't get too beat. I think I am.
I think you are. I think you'll be presenting ticket stubs at the door.
I'm like 99% sure I am. But, you know, I don't want to be too busted up, so I got to keep the face clean.
You got to be busted up. What are you talking about?
No, I don't want people to know that I was in a fight. I want them to be like, wow, you just fought?
Like surprised about it?
Yeah, like you didn't even get hit.
Nice. Oh, man. JR, we try to live up to your expectations, buddy. Can't wait to see you back next week.
Get back, JR.
Continuing moving forward in this show, we got MMA Trivia Challenge with Doc Alex and Ryan coming up.
Doc Alex is my hero. I love that guy.
Next segment, we're going to talk about Anthony Johnson missing weight for the UFC Rio card. We got Ryan Martinez coming up. And we got Diamond Dallas Page coming on.
Two-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Nice. Diamond Dallas Page is going to be on talking about DDPYoga. And then we'll also break down some UFC Rio, a.k.a. UFC 142. But this is the MMA Meltdown Radio Show on Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7. Welcome to the special edition of the MMA Meltdown Radio Show. Here's Saturday. We got used to competing with the Broncos, so they changed to Saturday, and we changed to Saturday. We're the good luck guys. That's why, Merc.
That's right.
That's how we roll.
Got to do whatever we did last week.
What did we do last week?
We did radio while the game was going on.
Well, we can't do it while the game's going on now.
Well, pregame.
We're close enough. Typically, we start the show off with the Inked Out Buzz Block.
The T-Bows versus the Patriots. Let's do this.
You're so excited about it.
I am.
Typically, we start out with the Inked Out Buzz Block with J.R. Gordon. Unfortunately, our man J.R. Gordon couldn't make it today with the day change, so we're going to do our best to try to fill in his shoes. But if you've seen J.R., those are pretty big shoes to fill.
Oh, yeah. He's a big man. Powerhouse.
Yeah, he's like the complete opposite of you.
He's about 1.5 feet taller than me.
1.5 feet, you wish. What are you, like 5'4"?
I like 5'1".
You're technically a short person.
Yeah, I get disability for it.
You get Oh, well, see?
I get to park closer to buildings and stuff.
I wonder.
I have short legs, so it takes me a long
how some of you
time.
fighters supplement your income in between fights, and knowing that you can collect that.
I get the
is a
handicap
lot of help.
parking. You know, my short legs take me longer to get inside the buildings.
We can catch you at Safeway in the little motorized cars that go.
I got a
half mile.
Vespa.
What?
You know what a Vespa is?
Yeah.
I'm cruising around town on one of those.
Do you need one of those little step stools to get on it?
Yeah, and then I got like I put like a phone book on the seat, boost me up a little.
Get you some wooden blocks and tie to your shoes. Get you going.
I did have a 4-inch platform shoes I take out when I go dancing.
They got the goldfish in them.
Oh yeah, you know.
You don't even know what movie is that from.
You lost me on that one.
What?
You know, I was trying to go with you there, but now you called me on it.
With the goldfish shoes, you don't remember what movie that is?
I don't know what you're saying.
It's a classic movie.
So
classic.
What is it?
It's I'ma Get You, Sucker. You remember? No, you
I
still don't remember.
I remember that movie a little bit.
You lost points.
Is that really a classic?
Well,
Yeah.
Are you serious?
He's stretching the word classic
It is
now.
a classic. I'm Gonna Get You,
It's like
Sucker
a-
is an
It's like
absolute
a funny
classic.
movie from back in the day. I don't know about a classic.
The dude picks up a chick in a bar, takes her to her place, and she starts taking off her eyelashes, her contacts, her
I think
hair,
I
her
remember
fake leg. That movie's classic. You guys can't hate on that. Eesh, you guys are ashamed. Ashamed of me. Ashamed of you. A lot of shame going on. You know what I'm not ashamed of?
What's that?
Is it really, Merc? Put it down. Put it down. If you listen to this show on any kind of regular basis, you know that Jay Merck is addicted to his phone.
I have issues.
Yeah,
I need to check into like some sort of rehab or something.
We've tried to fix it with electroshock therapy.
One time I left the phone at the gym and I couldn't get to it till the next day. I was like shaking at night.
Started going through withdrawals.
Yeah.
My skin's burning. Nice.
I was logged on Facebook all night.
Anyway, you know what I was gonna say? What I'm not ashamed of?
What's that?
You interested now?
Let's hear it.
Seeing you fight at the Paramount.
Oh, baby. It's
See,
coming up.
I was being nice to you and everything.
I know. You're trying to give me some love, and I was just ignoring you.
And all for nothing. You know, the Paramount's huge, and a little bit later, we're gonna have Doc Alex, huge figure
man,
in Colorado
I love that
MMA.
guy.
He's gonna call in and he's gonna go head to head with Ryan. Ryan's
I think
MMA
Ryan's our number
Meltdown
one
favorite.
fan.
Heck yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I love it.
Now we just got to get more than one fan,
Yeah.
and we'll be all
Right now, Ryan and my mom are our two consistent listeners.
My wife's there too, bro. Don't put.
She
him
tells
down.
me I do a great job.
Nice.
She also tells me I'm the most handsome boy in the world.
That's
so
where you get all that confidence.
yeah, I just talk to her every day. Pumps me up.
From. Yikes. I guess as a parent, it's
She
your
says
job
she's
to lie to your
unbiased.
student.
She's
She's unbiased.
Yeah, she's unbiased. She's just giving her,
Her honest
real
opinion.
thoughts.
Yeah. Oh man, but you and it's funny because Jay Lee called me too. Jay Lee's also on the card. Called me on the drive in here, talking stuff about my Facebook post. So shout out to you, Jay Lee, for calling me on that. I don't know what happened. Facebook is going crazy. It's going nuts, like your fingers right now.
That's right. Hey, I gotta keep the ladies happy.
Easy, man.
Multitasking.
So kind of just a rundown of the Paramount card. Heavyweight title fight. Derek Lewis is matching up against Jeremiah Constant. Jeremiah was on the show a couple weeks back.
Man, I'll tell you what. The big guys at grudge spar before the little guys, and I was in there just watching, and I'm always happy that I'm not a big guy because they hit so hard, but I was watching Jeremiah spar, and he was on point today. He was looking ferocious, attacking, slamming guys. One guy's feet went over the head. Chicken salad just flew in the room now. He was dropping bombs, and then he was all fired up afterwards. He is ready to go. I'm excited for that one.
Jeremiah took me down in the nightclub. Got a full mount.
Body
on me.
slammed you on the table.
Yeah, I got a full mount. But middleweight title fight, Jeremy Kimball. Also, we've had on the show Jason Lee. That's going to be a great match. Those two are great friends, so it'll be good to see how they put those.
Yeah, it'll be a rematch, so it should be good.
They fought as amateurs, right?
Yep, fight as amateurs for a title a couple years ago. Kimball came out on top on that one. Jason's had a great pro career so far. Jeremy's knocked out some guys, so I think it's perfect time for a rematch. For that 185-pound title, and
it's gonna be awesome.
Obviously, you know who I'm rooting for, but I know Jeremy's a really tough fighter.
Now you have to keep that in check, my friend,
No.
because we're unbiased.
You're unbiased. I'm not.
Yeah, that's
unbiased.
all right. That's fine. We'll see. Now and then going down the line, 170. Josh Cavan, been on the show a few times.
What a good-looking guy.
Easy. He's got a nice.
I'm
smile.
so mad. I was like, gonna say I had the best smile on the card. Then they put Josh Cavan on. I can't even say that anymore.
Nice. He's facing up against Santana Martinez. That'll be a good fight. One of the fights that I'm looking forward to is your last opponent, Brian Wood versus Velour Caballero. Velour's been on the show a few times as well. That's going to be an outstanding matchup. You know, two different styles matching up against each other. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it should be very good. You know, Velour, he's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu under Amal Easton. He's got really good striking. Of course, Brian's got the really strong really strong takedowns. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how that plays out with Brian trying to put Velour on his back. Of course, Velour's comfortable there, and then we'll see who kind of has that better ground game. It's interesting though because we didn't really get to see Brian's wrestling last fight because he was going against me and I was kind of pushing the pace forward more. I expect him to be pushing the pace forward this fight. So
your lay and pray was strong, my friend.
My lay and pray was on point.
It was awesome. I got my own version of lay and pray. I pulled it on Tony over at 303 a couple weeks ago.
What's that? You
sweet.
Pretend you're sleeping
I'll
so
show you.
he stops choking
I'll
you?
show you. Nah, it's like fetal position. It's awesome. And then going down the line, still 195, Ashley Gooch versus Ian Berg. We were talking about Ian on the way up here. Ian's a great guy who's a former member of Grudge. I seen him at 303 a couple weeks ago. Hopefully we'll have him on the show here within the next couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to get Ian on. Ian's a great guy. He's, another former wrestler like myself, so I always love backing those guys. He's also got, heavy hands, heavy hands. So I actually heard that there's a replacement fight. He's no longer fighting Ashley Gooch. I don't want to kind of jump out and give who he actually is fighting, but I talked to the promoters today, and there's a little bit of change on that fight, I believe.
So he's not fighting Ashley Gooch anymore, huh?
From what I've heard, no.
See, if JR was here, he would be right on top of that.
Don't you ever disrespect me like that again.
That's horrible.
I'm giving you inside information.
What kind of inside information is that? You don't even know who he's fighting.
I do know who he's fighting. I just don't want to reveal it before the promoter does.
I
do.
I do. You didn't even tell me anything on the way up.
I'm going to post it on my Facebook.
No, this guy. So, and please feel free to step in if any of the other fights are altered or changed. Josiah Callis fighting Josh Huber. I don't know.
Yeah, I see no way that one is not a war. They're both just super tough guys. They come forward. Josiah has been in a ton of wars where, he's just flinging fists the whole time, taking damage, bleeding. And same with Josh Huber, coming off a big win on Shark Fights. So this is going to be a stand-up battle. I'm sure there'll be some scrambles on the ground, but, they both really kind of make their living on their feet. So it should be awesome.
I like Shark Week.
Shark Week's cool.
It's cool
nothing
up
to
until
do
the
with
last couple of days. Then it's all just repeats.
Yeah, I mean, it has nothing to do with these fights, but, it's cool.
You said shark. It's relatable in that sense. Quit correcting me. After that, Josh Goldberger, we also had him on the show a few weeks back, making his pro debut against 1-0 Matt Cox. That'll be a good fight. Then we got my boy, Jay Mercules, Slam. Are you going to narrow down a nickname at any point soon?
I still like going with Shutout.
Shutout's not too good.
I don't understand why people don't like that.
Because you're more like lay and pray than shutout. Call you Alan P.
What do you mean I shut out my opponents?
By laying down, by pulling
taken
your
no
snuggie
damage.
out, getting your pillow pet.
I've taken no damage. I've won dominant decisions or finishes.
Dominant decisions.
I finished 4 of my opponents, 4 of my 6 opponents.
That's all right. We expect that from you.
And there hasn't been a guy that I haven't passed their guard. So
nobody could stop your passing of the guard, and nobody could stop your double leg. Is that what you're saying?
I won't say no one can stop my passing, because if I were to go against a black belt right now, I'd probably spend some time in the guard, but then I'd just drop some bombs from there. So.
I hit you up after I talked to Chad Mendez, and I asked you how your double leg stood up to his double leg, and you had to make a realistic statement there, didn't you?
I did say his double leg was better than mine. I can't lie. He's got a very powerful double leg.
It's nice to see a humble J Merc.
Yeah,
he says. You're fighting Gabe Gonzalez, 1-3. Gabe, all we can say, bro, is good luck. I mean, it's going to be a good match. As always, we just want everybody to get out of the match injury-free, if at all possible, especially for you, J Merc. You got another fight coming up in February. Continuing down the line there of that card, you got Derek Morales, 1-4, facing Todd Meredith, 0-1. You get into these situations where you got some of these fighters who are looking to get to the 500 mark again with their win-loss column, and you could definitely see a sense of urgency in their eyes when they step in that cage, because for a lot of people, when you get to that time of your career and you've got more losses than you do wins, you kind of got to question the career choice there.
Yeah, I think some of these guys just love fighting, and it's, everyone has different reasons for fighting and different goals. I mean, some guys, doing interviews with guys as on the kind of the reporting side of things, some of them know that they're not going to make it to the UFC, or they don't even have goals of that. they just love fighting. They love getting in there and scrapping. But, for the ones that, maybe they did have those goals of getting to the big time, there definitely is that sense of urgency and desperation to get that win. You put a lot of time into the fights. No one wants to lose. So
yeah. So that's a good point. Those are both good points. And then to round out the card, we got 2 pros making their debut, which is always fun to see when you got 2 guys from the amateur status making their pro debut, and to be able to make it on a card of this magnitude is awesome. You got 0-0, obviously, Tony Miller versus Abe Alvarado. You and I, Jim Merck, we've had the luxury of seeing Abe Alvarado fight too much. I don't think I've seen Tony fight at all. Yeah,
I know Tony. He's a tough guy. I've seen him in the gym. I've stopped by Factory X a couple times, seen him train. He also fought a teammate of mine, Carlos Huerta. So, he went the distance with Carlos, and Carlos, in my opinion, could be one of the best 125-pounders in the world if he decides to really make a career as a professional. But Tony's really tough. Abe's been coming in the grudge. He's a very tough guy. He's a great wrestler. He's got fast hands, has a great chin. So this should be a really good fight.
Fast hands and a great chin.
He does. I mean, his last fight with JJ Mondragon was a war. He took some hard shots, stayed in there, though, and, it was a great fight. So I don't see Miller being able to put him away on the feet. We'll see how it goes on the ground, though.
It's man, I can't even. I got family coming in from out of town to watch this card. I mean, it's that stacked right now. I'm super stoked to see it. And that weekend is awesome because also that weekend is the 2011 American Ground and Pound Colorado MMA Awards.
That's right. Should be a great weekend.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm presenting it, though, so hopefully I don't get too beat. I think I am.
I think you'll be presenting ticket stubs at the door.
I'm like 99% sure I am. Yeah. But, I don't want to be too busted up, so I got to keep the face clean.
You got to be busted up. What are you talking about?
No, I don't want people to know that I was in a fight. I want them to be like, wow, you just fought?
Like surprised about it?
Yeah, like you didn't even get hit.
Nice. Oh, man. JR, we try to live up to your expectations, buddy. Can't wait to see you back next week.
Get back, JR.
Continuing moving forward in this show, we got MMA Trivia Challenge with Doc Alex and Ryan coming up.
Doc Alex is my hero. I love that guy.
Next segment, we're going to talk about Anthony Johnson missing weight for the UFC Rio card. We got Ryan Martinez coming up. And we got Diamond Dallas Page coming on.
Two-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Nice. Diamond Dallas Page is going to be on talking about DDP yoga. And then we'll also break down some UFC Rio, a.k.a. UFC 142. But this is the MMA Meltdown Radio Show on Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7.
Available at your local King Soopers, Loaf and Jug, Jenny's Market, Circle K convenience stores, and 7-Eleven.
All right. Dan's on point. We got Dan producing the show today.
Beastie Boys, loving it.
And he hits it off with Beastie Boys.
How much time did you guys give me?
Like
to tell
12
me.
seconds.
Yeah.
Maybe not even.
It was awesome.
How quick does Bianchi move?
Oh, that's not nice.
No. I like Chris. I'm just curious.
I'm still waiting for him to play the song I requested. So
this ain't the club.
He hit you guys up with some Will Smith a couple weeks ago when he built everything for me.
Chris is awesome.
I actually like that.
I don't know why he's not here right now, but he better be.
It's my day to work.
Oh, it's your day to work. Well, then we're gonna put you to work, bro. You got a lot of people calling in today. Like we were talking about earlier, we got Doc Alex and Ryan having a showdown here in the last segment of this hour. We're going to take some calls in the last segment for your chance to win Paramount tickets. So if you want a free pair of tickets, call in during the last segment.
Last segment, people.
Of the show. We'll take calls before then, but don't expect
and let us know that you're calling in for the ticket. Like one guy called last week and was like, well, "What do you need? What do you want to talk about?" I don't know. Well, what do you mean? You're the one that called us.
Yeah, you got to make it known that's what you're calling in for, but you got to talk some MMA. There's no freebies this show. Doc Alex and Ryan have to work for their tickets, and if you call in during the last segment, you're going to have to work with your tickets as well because Jay Merck got some killer trivia. I looked at it, and I didn't know that much information about Backstreet Boys, so let that be a little hint about what your trivia is going to be about.
So tell me what to do now. That might be in sync. I'm not sure.
Oh my gosh, you got. What song is that, Dan?
Why do you think I know?
'Cause I want you back. That is Backstreet Boys.
Nice. Jay Merck. Everybody's going to challenge you now.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that you know the difference.
I'm not afraid to admit that I got down on some NSYNC and Backstreet Boys back in the day. It showed my sensitive side to the ladies.
He does like Jersey Shore too, Dan, just so you're aware.
How could you not
is
like
that
Jersey Shore?
Is that what you enter into the octagon to? Little Backstreet Boys?
I might have to.
We choreograph a
Really
dance when we
separate
walk
myself.
out.
You might just confuse your opponent to the point where you just get a quick strike in and he's done for.
I'm gonna come out with a whole dance team.
When-
We're gonna be dancing our way down to the ring.
When you're as lucky as Jay Merck is, he always gets to come in the ring second, so that would be a great advantage for him.
Nah, I've actually been coming in first a lot. Yeah, they always like my opponents better or something. I don't know.
It's a popularity contest.
Yeah.
You know it's not popular, and we've talked about it before here on the local level a few times, and it reared its ugly head again yesterday in the UFC 142 weigh-ins, and that's missing weight. Anthony Johnson, he's had a history of missing weight before, and he jumped up a weight class to fight Vitor Belfort, and he still missed weight.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Johnson, no doubt, he's a huge man. Like, that's why it's crazy to me that he ever made 170, because it's, he said it before, and other people have kind of reported that he's gotten as high as 230, 220, that range there, which is, 50, 60 pounds over 170. So, yeah, I thought it was a great idea for him to move up in weight because he already had missed weight twice by a significant margin at 170, and, it seemed like the weight cut was just, a little too much for him. He's got a huge frame. But once again, he came in. He said he got sick yesterday. I'm assuming that was from the weight cut, though. A lot of these guys, the problem they make is that they just leave the weight cut till the very end, and then they a lot of times they get away with it. You cut 20, 25 pounds over the last 2 or 3 days, but sometimes your body just shuts down on you. Every time is not the same. That's why I try to monitor my weight each fight a little differently. How is my body reacting? Do I need to get the weight down a little earlier? Because you don't want to ever say, oh, I did it this way last time, so I'm going to follow the exact same plan. Maybe your diet's a little different. Obviously he added probably a little more muscle mass, and he waited too long. His body started shutting down on him. The doctors made him start rehydrating before the weigh-ins, and he got back up to 197. There was no way he was going to cut back down. So, it's just unfortunate. He seems, regardless of the weight, he needs to be a little more disciplined and start getting his weight down in advance. You can't come in, 20, 25 pounds over a couple of days before the weigh-ins and then try to crash down. It's just not healthy, and you can't expect your body to recover that way.
And, we talked to him on Thursday. We had a great interview. If you want to check out that interview, go to MMAmeltdown.us. There's a good interview with Anthony Johnson. And, we talked about his weight specifically. He definitely doesn't cut weight, apparently now and in the past, in a healthy way. I don't know if it's more on his shoulders as much as it is on his coach's shoulders. I think.
There's got to be personal accountability. Obviously your coaches are there to help you and be there with you to cut weight and give you kind of goals to hit.
How does it get so out of hand though? How do you end up like 1 or 2 pounds? Understandable, like you were saying, they give a 1 pound weight differential anyway. But 11 pounds, how are you not stepping on the scale?
Well,
Thursday
basically,
night
the way they explained it is that the day of the weigh-ins, about 3 hours before the weigh-ins, he got down to about as low as 1.5 pounds over the weight limit. At that point, his body started shutting down on him, and the UFC doctors, said he had to start taking fluids in. They gave him some IVs or whatever, and obviously at that point his weight went shot back up, and they said he can't cut back down. So.
But at that level, the UFC level, Zuffa level, probably a little bit higher than even regional MMA. Your team, you put a team together. You pay guys, you pay coaches, you pay managers, you pay a bunch of people to help you with your career. At some point, shouldn't somebody step in and be like, hey, you need to start cutting weight earlier? Your history shows this.
Yeah,
this,
I mean, I don't know the specifics of what his coaches and him had planned. That's why you see a lot of guys start going to nutritionists. I know when Nate Marquardt was going down to 170, he has a specific nutritionist. A lot of guys use Mike Dolce. But bottom line is it still has to come down to you. People can give you all the advice in the world. They can help you set goals and things like that, steps to take to reach it. But you have to have that personal accountability, that discipline, to watch your diet and get your weight down in a reasonable time. If you're 40 pounds over your weight or 25 pounds over your weight, it's going to be tough on the body. And, eventually you're going to pay the price for it. You might make weight most of the time, but then there's going to be times where your body just doesn't react properly and it costs you. And in this case, it's going to cost him dearly. He's giving up 20% of his purse. Dana White's very angry, and he said he could lose his job regardless of whether he wins or loses. So, hopefully he takes the proper steps in the future of getting the weight down. Just listening to him already speak, doesn't seem like he's accepting accountability for it. He's just saying, "Oh, I got sick." Well, yes, you got sick because you tried to cut too much weight too fast.
And diet is huge. A regular consistent diet is huge. I mean, like you're saying, putting it off to the last couple of days is very dangerous. It's risky to a point, certainly, and that's why it's important to have a regular diet. And we here at the MMA Meltdown team, we're fortunate to be sponsored by FreshFitMeal.com. Fresh Fit Meals is awesome. We get all of our meals pre-labeled with all the protein information that we need. It's all pre-made. Just pop it in the microwave for a few seconds, bring it out, and boom, you're ready to done. Cooking time is cut down. Grocery shopping is cut down. There's a bunch of different locations you can pick up your meal at. And, Johnny from Fresh Fit Meals, he cares a lot about people's nutrition. And, automatically right out the gate, if you go order at freshfitmeal.com and you enter in MMA Meltdown 10 during checkout, you'll get 10% off.
Nice.
But Johnny, for this particular show, he hooked up everybody. So if you're paying attention right now and you want to try something like this out, then pay attention, because for right now, the first 5 people using the coupon code Meltdown30 will get 30% off of their order. And that's huge.
Absolutely.
I mean, so go check them out. It's freshfitmeal.com. Johnny will take care of you. Call him up at 720-369-4557. Again, that's 720-369-4557, and he'll take care of you. But, man, I mean, you mentioned the ways that, and we talk about it all the time, that you have to take care of your body, and cutting that much weight in the last 2 days, I mean, it really does put you at a disadvantage when you get into the cage, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think these guys think just because, all right, let's say you're walking around, like let's say I walk around 160, through most of my camp, and let's say I waited till the day before to cut that last 15 pounds, then boom, I weigh in, I put all that weight back on. Even though I weigh 160 again, my body's not fully recovered because, crashing down like that, sucking everything out of you, takes a major toll on your body, and you're just not able to recover properly. You're not going to be back at 100%. And again, you still might win sometimes, but eventually it's going to catch up to you. You continue to do that. Sometimes you might miss weight. Sometimes you're just going to come out flat. We've seen it a lot of different times. Thiago Alves, he's missed weight a couple times, or even fights where he's made weight. The second fight with John Fitch, he was very sluggish. He just didn't, he wasn't on point. And I think, one thing I'd like to see is maybe the rules change in terms of weigh-ins. I think guys kind of abuse the 24-hour weigh-in rule, because they know they have time to recover. They kind of keep pushing back when they're going to cut the weight, and they think they have plenty of time to recover. So those, they kind of cut corners and then just drop it down really quickly the day or two before. And, I think with day of weigh-ins, wrestling over the years made a lot of changes to where they used to have day before weigh-ins, then you're weighing in, a number of hours before the match. Now it's you weigh in 1 hour before. And, same thing with jiu-jitsu, the IBJJF. You step on the scale, then you walk out on the mat, and there's no way you can cut weight and then go out and perform at a high level if you're walking onto the mat right after stepping on the scale.
And there's a whole process in the middle of what we're talking about too, because you cut all this weight in the last couple of days for some people. You hit weigh-ins, then afterwards it's automatically about replacing those fluids in your body. You get a good meal in you, and you get your weight back up. So I mean, it's taking your body from such extremes. It's just plain dangerous. I mean, really, you're going into a fight where you have to protect, or into a sport where you have to protect yourself to avoid serious injury. And
yeah,
it's important for you to be.
I mean, there's some crazy size discrepancies. Sometimes when Anthony Johnson fought at 170, he just looked like a whole different weight class than the guy he was fighting at, and sometimes he was because he was coming in so overweight. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I thought this was interesting because he had to weigh in at 205 today. He had to weigh in a second time.
Yeah.
They put that stipulation in, although he weighed in at noon in the fights tonight, so he's still probably gonna put on another 5-10 pounds. So he'll still probably step in the cage around 210, 215. So he'll have a pretty big size advantage. But we'll see how he's recovered, because he was saying, yesterday he couldn't even feel his legs or anything like that. If you can't feel your legs the day before you're going to fight, I mean, how are you going to perform at a high level against another world-class fighter? So it'll be interesting to see, especially if his game plan, which I expected to be, or at least it was going to be, to kind of take Vitor down, use his wrestling, kind of grind him out, ground and pound. I don't think he wants to stand too much with Vitor, but now that he's got the pressure from Dana where he might get fired, he may be feeling the pressure to kind of stand and
He
trade
has
a little.
to. Yeah, I think he has to.
I mean, if he pulls out just a 3-round decision where he's wrestling the whole time, they're going to cut him.
I don't think that's his plan. You know, we talked to him on Thursday, and we asked him, specifically, is there any one area where you hold an advantage over Vitor? And Johnson said pretty confidently and quickly that he holds the advantage everywhere he goes. I mean,
yeah, I mean, guys say that before every fight, but you actually go by what has happened in his career. When he fought Dan Hardy, another striker, he took him down throughout the whole fight. He was in a striking match with Kevin Burns. He took him down a bunch of times. And he's gotten hit by inferior strikers to Vitor Belfort. Now he's fighting a bigger, faster, better striker than he's ever fought before. When we've seen him try to wrestle in the past against inferior opponents, I can't see him trying to stand and strike with Vitor. I don't think he is a big fan of getting hit. Not that he's afraid of getting hit. I mean, I don't think it's on the level of Brock Lesnar or anything like that. But I think when against another really good striker, I think he looks to go to his wrestling, and we'll see.
Yeah, and we'll break down the UFC Rio, aka UFC 142, here at the top of the second hour. But I'm glad the match is still on. We'll see how he comes out. He's obviously going to have to come out in a more dynamic fashion. I think his game plan, if he had one, is definitely out the window. I mean, you just don't have that luxury anymore when your job's on the line. It's like Tim Tebow. They had who was the other guy?
Brady Quinn.
Yeah, Brady. I was going to say Tom Brady.
Yeah,
Brady
and
Quinn.
Tim Tebow responded, baby. He steps up. I don't know if Anthony Johnson's on Tebow's level.
I don't think Anthony Johnson's on. They probably weigh about the same, though.
Yeah, they're both about 240 right now.
Yeah, so coming up next, we got the MMA, the first edition, the inaugural.
Inaugural?
There we go. That's how I roll.
Wow.
We got the MMA Meltdown Trivia Challenge coming up with Doc Alex and Ryan coming up here. I seen him on Facebook, and I sent him a message having him, just ensuring that they were going to call in and be able to make the call. And, I'm not going to lie, there was a little bit of trash talking going on.
I like it. I can't wait.
There's going to be, borderline fist fight over the phone is what I'm feeling. We're also going to talk to Ryan Martinez about his ProElite fight coming up here. And then, obviously, again, Diamond Dallas Page with yoga, DDPYoga.
Two time.
This is the MMA Meltdown Radio Show here on Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7. You're all I ever wanted. You're all I ever needed. Yeah.
MMA Meltdown, powered by Science. Available at your local King Supers, Loaf and Jug, Jenny's Market, Circle K convenience stores, and 7-Eleven.
This is ridiculous.
This has brought me back to the old days, baby.
First time in MMA history, I'm sure everywhere, anywhere.
How many other radio shows are rocking out the Backstreet Boys today?
Oh, my goodness, J. Merck. Woo! Started the madness. Welcome back to the MMA Meltdown Radio Show here on Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7. It's time. It's time.
Uh-oh.
Right now.
The showdown.
The first ever MMA Meltdown Trivia contest, where the winner will receive one free pair of tickets to the Paramount card on January 27th. We had a list of qualifying questions on Facebook. If you want your chance to participate in such contests, make sure you go to Facebook, find MMA Meltdown, and like us. But it's ready. It's go time. Woo! Alex, you there?
I'm on, baby.
Ryan, you there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's going to get crazy.
Uh-oh, I can feel the tension.
I'm ready to fist fight right now. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
So just to explain how it's going to go down, we're going to have 2 rounds of 3 questions. The questions are going to be a mixture of pop culture questions and MMA questions. So both of you, if you have Google going right now, shut it down, you cheaters. Because here on MMA Meltdown, we go off the dome.
That's right.
Word up. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right. So we flipped a coin randomly, and Ryan, you got first stab at it, and J. Merck is going to handle the MMA questions, and I got the pop culture questions. So, Jared, you got the first round.
All right, Ryan. As you probably know, Anthony Johnson missed weight for this weekend's fight.
Mm-hmm.
He has missed weight twice previously in the UFC. Who were his 2 opponents for those fights?
Oh, Yoshida?
Yes.
One. Was it Koscheck?
It was not Koscheck.
All right. Should we pass the same question over to Doc, Alex?
Yeah, give it a shot.
Well, you got it, Alex?
Yeah, man, I got no idea.
No idea.
Man.
First round of questions, zip on both boards. Ryan, you ready for your question?
Yeah.
All right. In which country, I guess it's not really pop culture, it's non-MMA questions, let's say that. In which country is Auschwitz located in?
Austria?
Auschwitz.
Auschwitz.
I have no idea.
Oh, sorry, buddy. That's not an acceptable answer. Doc, Alex, you got it?
I'm going to go with Germany. Poland.
They are too late. You can't be changing your answers. So 2 questions in the book, and nobody's got any points. J. Merck?
All right. Let's see if you guys know your MMA history. Jose Aldo, the current featherweight champion in the UFC, undefeated in UFC, undefeated in WEC. He has 1 loss in his career. Who is the only man to have defeated Jose Aldo?
Oh, jeez. I got nothing.
Try, Ryan. Guess, man.
You could have made up a name.
Jeez, you could have said J. Merck, and we would have been giving you more credit than I got no idea. Doc, Alex, you got an idea?
Yeah, it was down in jungle fights in Brazil. Acevedo.
That's pretty close enough since it's a foreign name. Acevedo. Luciano Acevedo.
Yeah, I can't even. I'm not even going to try.
Yeah.
Doc, Alex, after the
Bam.
first round, Doc, Alex is up 1 point. Ryan, you better step up, buddy.
I will, buddy. Don't worry.
I'm not worried. I'm going to the fights. All right, second round, first round of questions. Again, J. Merck, go for it, buddy.
All right. Mike Macenzio is fighting on the main card against Hujamar Palhares. What state does Mike Macenzio reside in? He also won 2 state wrestling championships here.
Man, you get some hard ones, gangster.
They just mine.
Yes.
For Doc, well, I'll go New Jersey.
Correct.
Ding!
Nice.
Oh, Doc Alex, he's putting the pressure on you. So now Doc Alex gets a fresh question. What do you got, Merck?
All right. The late, great Sean Tompkins was a brother-in-law to a fighter on this weekend's UFC card. He was also his trainer. What fighter was that?
Oh, man.
He's fighting at 155.
MMA Meltdown had an interview with him earlier this week.
His nickname.
Brother-in-law, man. I know the only guy that I ever met together with Tompkins was Hominick, but he's not 55, so that's not the answer. I don't know.
No guess?
No guess.
Oh, man. Sam Stout. I knew Ryan knew that one. All right, Ryan, you ready for your question?
Let's do it.
What is calcium carbonate normally known as?
CO2?
No. You got it, Doc Alex?
That's almost cheating, isn't it?
Yeah, we're asking a doctor a question.
Yeah, I'm gonna look like a real ass if I get it wrong, though, right?
Oh, no, I don't know, buddy.
Can we go with Tums?
Can we go with what?
Tums.
Tums? Be more specific for me, Doc. I know you know it.
Well, like in acid, you can go like Citracal or Tums. Calcium carbonate's the base product in both of those.
I don't think we could give it to you, buddy. The basic ingredient, or what it's known as, is chalk.
Okay.
Now do you feel like it? I said it's going to be like cheating. You got ahead of yourself.
Man, leave me alone.
All right, Merck, go ahead.
All right. Who did Jose Aldo defeat in his last fight to retain the featherweight title?
Is this mine?
Yes.
Yeah, Ryan, I'm sorry.
Kenny Florian.
Ding, ding, ding.
Uh-oh. Doc Alex, the pressure's on, baby. To take it to overtime, you got to be able to answer this one right.
You go.
You want me to ask him one of my questions?
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. So who holds the record as being Britain's youngest ever Formula One driver? This is Doc Alex.
Britain's youngest Formula One driver. I've got no idea, man.
Jensen Button.
Yeah, if you gave me a million guesses, I would have not.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed it either. It's supposed to be hard. It's not a walkthrough contest.
All right. Vitor, the Phenom Belfort.
Whoa. That was the end of round 2.
Oh, that's the end of round 2?
We got one more round.
Okay.
Are we doing 3 rounds? You want to do 2 rounds?
Well, you're the boss.
Let's
you
do
tell
3.
Me.
Doc Alex is an awesome guy. Let's give him a chance to get it back in it. So at the end of round 2, Ryan's up now, 2-1. Doc Alex, what are you going to do, baby?
I'm coming back.
All right.
Coming back.
Let's go, Merc.
All right. Vitor Belfort
Ryan, this is yours.
made his debut in the UFC at the age of 19. Who was his first opponent?
Was it Vanderlei Silva?
It was not.
Oh. You got it, Doc?
Chuck Liddell.
No.
Oh.
I'm
Who was
just
it,
too
Merc?
hardcore with this trivia. I gotta bring it down a notch.
It's pretty tough, buddy. I don't know if it's as tough as the Formula 1 questions I'm throwing out here.
Yeah. Oh, calcium carbonate.
Right. It's chalk. We used it as kids. Don't you read labels?
No.
All right, Ryan, this one's for you, buddy. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. What word do we use to describe an asexual reproduction of a genetic carbon copy of an animal or plant?
What?
Yeah. It's simple. The answer's simple. Once you guys hear the answer, you're going to be, oh, if I listen to the whole question.
Repeat that question.
All right,
please.
again.
You lost me after 2 words.
What word do we use to describe the asexual reproduction of a genetic carbon copy of an animal or plant? Reproduction being the key word here.
Oh,
I think I know.
Are you a Star Wars fan?
kinda.
Well, it's in there. It's somewhere in that whole genre.
Oh,
Man,
again, I have no idea.
Guess, man. You guys are killing me. Guess.
No, I got nothing.
Oh, Doc, you got it? Huh?
Fission.
It's
Oh, trust me, brother.
it's clone.
Oh.
Doc,
Okay.
Doc Alex, I'm gonna review your medical license at the end of this segment. All right. So we got one more question. This is gonna determine the winner. Oh no, we got 2 more questions. Go for
Who
it.
was
Merc.
George St. Pierre's first loss to in the UFC?
Me or Alex?
Whose turn is it? Who just
It
answered?
was Ryan's turn.
So it's Dr. Alex's now.
No, it's Ryan's turn right now. Doc
Okay.
Alex got the clone question wrong.
All right.
Matt
Ryan.
Hughes.
Huh?
Matt Hughes.
Correct.
Dang, he's pulling away, Doc. 3-1.
I'm done.
Don't say that. Believe in
Keep
yourself.
the hope alive, my friend. All right, let me find a good one. Here we go, Doc Alex. You should know this one. In the movies, who plays the role of Harry Potter?
You're kidding me, right?
Come
I
on,
don't
man.
watch that.
You guys both wear
Oh,
glasses.
come
It's like you're
on.
practically brothers.
I think that guy would
I
play.
don't watch that stuff, and
No-
I only watch fights.
No guess?
No guess.
Oh,
Man, just make up a name.
One more series
Bob
of questions.
Smith.
One more series
Daniel
of questions.
Radcliffe is the answer.
Oh, look at Dan. You're not playing, Dan. Cheater.
I'm just throwing. I knew the cloning question.
You knew the clone question, too?
Oh, yeah.
You did buzz in pretty quick about that. All right. One more set of questions. Let's do a 2-point question, so make it a difficult one. Doc Alex, this is your way back into it.
Let me see here. Let me think of
You
one.
ask Doc Alex one, and I'll ask Ryan one.
All right. Let me see here.
So, Doc Alex, if you don't get this right, buddy, by default, Ryan automatically wins.
Yeah, I feel you.
You just said you watch nothing but MMA, so let's see what you got, buddy.
All right. Let me see. Who did Chuck Liddell beat to win the UFC title? The first time he won the UFC title.
Oh, I don't like that side.
Man, when he first won his title?
Yes, the first time he won.
Let's go. We got 10 seconds, Doc.
Jeff Monson.
No.
Oh, man. For bonus points, Ryan, we'll give you a case of science if you could get this one right. In 1996, what company overtook Coca-Cola as being the most well-known brand name in the world?
Hershey's?
Nah. Mickey D's, gangster.
Oh.
Doc Alex, man, we appreciate everything you do naturally in the sport and for Colorado MMA, buddy.
And for
but
me personally,
today,
this guy's hooking me up
you are
all
not
the
the
time. I love
biggest
that
loser,
guy.
my friend.
Oh, I know. I'm hurting. Hey, Ryan, when you get those free tickets, wave up at cage side for me, man. I'll be right
Oh! Burn!
I like it.
All right, Ryan, you know the deal, buddy. We'll have your tickets waiting for you at Will Call, and good job, buddy.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Doc. Appreciate
Hey,
it, man.
Guys, thanks for having us on the show. Thanks for doing the show. I love you guys, man.
Love you.
Doc, you're coming on here as a guest one of these days.
Absolutely. You let me know. We'll do it.
All
we'll
right,
talk
buddy.
some medicine.
Sounds
Some stuff
good.
I know.
Nice. You should have knew chalk, buddy. Let's get that one right.
Hey. Yeah, that's pretty bad. You're right.
All right, you enjoy the rest of your sparring, Doc.
All right, you guys take care.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Man, that was brutal, dude. You asked some tough questions.
All
I was
right,
giving him.
yours
I was giving him
yours were
freebies.
a million times harder than
What?
mine.
Who doesn't know
At least
about the
mine were
Britain
related
Formula
to MMA.
One? You got to mix it up a little bit, buddy. Seriously.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be fun
Says the
pop
guy who
culture,
has
not
Backstreet playing in
nuclear
our
fission
intro.
questions.
It wasn't fusion. It was clone, and Dan knew it. Han Dan.
Yeah.
See?
Come on.
Don't disrespect me.
I'm asking basic questions.
You're
about
not
the
asking
history of the
basic
sport.
questions.
Who did Chuck Liddell beat to win the UFC title?
It wasn't that easy to stump Doc Alex.
Come on.
And this is Doc Alex. He attends almost pretty much every single MMA event
Well, he
in
needs
Colorado.
to start watching some older videos.
He's going to cut you off. You keep talking like that about him.
I cannot bash Dr. Alex.
All right.
It's a lifesaver for me.
So again, congratulations, Ryan, on being the winner of our first ever MMA Meltdown Trivia contest. Your tickets will be at Will Call for the Paramount show here on January 27th.
Jeez.
If you want to win a free pair of tickets to keep some change in your pocket, then pay attention to the rest of the show, because at the end of the show, in the last segment, we're going to give away another pair of free tickets to the Paramount card, courtesy of Seth Daniels and the Fight to Win Promotions. It was a good time, Mark.
It was fun.
You sounded like that. You just sound thrilled with the way that went.
I had fun. I'm a little disappointed in them with their answers, but I gave them some softballs, and
Yeah, we did give him some softies.
I didn't even get to my tough questions.
I didn't either. I was going to ask, which is the world's oldest airline still using its original name?
You say, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
We'd have hours to argue that.
Tim Tebow would be the answer.
Nice! Tim Tebow. Dan, you get an extra
How
point,
did the
too.
universe start? Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow. You guys are going to make a bunch of religious freaks upset. Really.
Oh, you call them freaks, and you're
Oh,
wearing
yeah, I guess I'm going to get a bunch of... Feel free to write Jared Mercado, care of MMA Meltdown at P.O. Box 4462.
Please no text past 2 a.m., ladies. I need my rest.
Get out of here. Oh, man, it's been an awesome show so far. Coming up in the show here, we still got Ryan Martinez coming up next to talk to us about his ProElite in Hawaii. How nice is that going to be? We got DDP coming up with DDPYoga and still a UFC Rio breakdown and more tickets to give away. It's going to be awesome.
Can't wait.
You are tuned into the MMA Meltdown radio show here on Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7. Oh, man, I'm emotionally drained from that last segment. That contest took it out of me.
Still recovering.
I need 5 minutes and an inhaler. You got that? No?
I could see you need an inhaler for when you roll. I heard Tony saying you need to work on your conditioning.
Yeah, that's no joke, man. One guy who doesn't need to work on his conditioning is our next guest. Man, we've had him on a show, man, for just about every fight the kid has. He's a real friend of the show, and he's going out to Hawaii. I want to fight in Hawaii.
I know. What the heck? I'm jealous. I'm fighting in New Jersey. He's fighting in Hawaii.
ProElite standout, Ryan Martinez. What's going on, buddy?
What's cracking, man?
Nothing but knuckles, buddy.
I hear that.
How's how you in Hawaii now?
Nah, man, I leave the Hawaii at I got to be at the airport by 6:30 Monday morning. So it's an all day thing. I get there 3:45 Hawaii time, which would be 7:45 Mountain Standard Time. So I'm not looking forward to it being an all day thing, man.
I would have put it in my contract. I need at least a week in advance to be down there.
Fly me on a jet.
I need to be acclimated to the scenery.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, Ryan, it's crazy, man. I mean, it really is. We've seen, go from the local shows to ProElite, and there's still a lot of room for you to grow and a lot of places for you to go to as well. And it's awesome. I mean, you came into the first ProElite virtually unknown to everybody else in America. The announcers had a hard time really understanding where you were getting your abilities from. I mean, everybody was shocked, and now you're here in the second round. I mean, how much of a difference are you expecting your opponent or how much of a difference are you expecting in your opponent now with so much more attention going your way?
Dude, like I told, my manager, I don't want to be around the whole media hype pre-fight. If they want to interview me, they can do it after. I took this fight harder than I did Mark Ellis just because, beating him means everybody's gunning for me, and I'm sure everybody stepped up their game in camp that, I'm sure Cody Griffin did. If he's not, he's got another thing coming, man, because I stepped up my game, a hell of a lot as far as my jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and striking goes. So I'm ready to go, man.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit? What do you mean you stepped it up? Just putting more hours in the gym, or bringing in new partners, or?
Yeah, we brought in some new partners, more hours in the gym. I training with an elevation mask, doing a lot more conditioning, just doing everything as much as I could, 120%, even when I was sick. You know what I mean? Not cutting no corners.
Yeah, for sure. Ryan, we had you on the show before your last fight, and you kind of, said you felt that the promoters were expecting that guy to win, not just against you, but win the whole tournament. How has that perception changed from how they've approached you? Have you talked to the people kind of running Pro Elite, and do you think they're kind of looking at you in a different light now?
I haven't really, touched base with them as far as that goes. I know the tournament was set up for Mark Ellis to showcase his talents because he signed the exclusive deal with them as far as he signed with the promotion. I only signed for the tournament.
Right.
So they were trying to round up, some of the top prospects in the U.S. as far as, the mountains, the East Coast, the West Coast, North, South. So, basically it was for him to showcase his talent. And I'm sure they thought by me taking the fight on short notice that, this dude, it's going to be a good win for Mark Ellis. But like I told the promoters, I'm not training to lose. I go, if I take a break, I'm still in the gym, regardless.
Right.
So, as far as that whole hype goes, I really don't care, what they think or me being a favorite or the underdog. That all has to stay away from my mindset, man.
Yeah, for sure. Now, you mentioned that you just, you signed for the tournament. He signed with the promotion. If you win the tournament, is that something where you're locked into a contract with them? Because, that's going to be great exposure for you. I think you'd be something like 7-1, 8-1 around there if you win the tournament. At that point, the UFC is always looking for heavyweight talent. Are you locked in with Pro Elite, or would you be, open to signing with even bigger organizations?
Of course, everybody's ultimate goal is to sign with Zuffa. Like any fighter that's, in the fight game has the ultimate goal to be in the UFC. So that's my main priority right now. But I can't look past Pro Elite. And, if I win the tournament, there's a clause in the contract that we had to change saying that they have first dibs to re-sign me within a certain amount of months or something like that.
Right.
The right to first refusal?
Yeah, but, there's ways around that stuff.
Yeah, there absolutely is. And Ryan, we talk about Zuffa, and everybody's goal is to be Zuffa, but how valuable is a company like Pro Elite now that Strikeforce is actually eliminating the heavyweight division?
Dude, what's actually cool is like Strikeforce Pro Elite is actually the old Elite XC, and like Andre Arlovsky was an Elite XC heavyweight champion. He ended up being a UFC champ. So that just goes to show you that Pro Elite, it's a big step up. Ring of Fire's right there, and then it goes. I'd say Pro Elite's up there with like Bellator and Strikeforce as soon as they get more shows under their belt. So, don't count them out. But eventually, you never know if Dana's gonna take them over or whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's definitely buying people up without a problem. And
yeah, it kind of seems like they're trying to throw a monopoly on the game, but I don't know.
And also, it could be, especially you, because you're a heavyweight, it could be a win-win type of situation for you. Worst case scenario, you stick with Pro Elite, you become a champion, heavyweight champion, and then boom, there's your Zuffa contract. UFC buys Pro Elite sometime down the road if it does happen, and you're automatically absorbed into that. Either way, it's got to be good for you.
Yeah, for sure. Like, shit, I'm happy to be with Pro Elite right now, man. That it's the biggest fight I have is Ring of Fire. And then Sven, I'm still under contract for one more fight with Ring of Fire, but Sven being the good guy that he is, he's like, yeah, we'll honor the Pro Elite contract. Just, if something happens to where, like I get released from Pro Elite or whatnot, then I have to honor my Ring of Fire contract. So I still have one more fight in Colorado, man.
Yeah, and we can't wait for that to go
Let's
down.
talk about this actual fight. The guy you got lined up. Tell us what you know about him. and again, how your strengths kind of stack up against his, what you're looking to exploit against him, things like that.
Dude, I don't know too much about the guy. I know he was real friendly when we were up there, and then after I beat Mark Ellis, he kind of just started acting shady with me and my coach, so that's expected, though, man.
Yeah. Well,
as far as knowing anything about him, I really don't know too much about him. I know he's pretty much a brawler, and he fought the guy knocked out in 28 seconds and won in the third round after being dominated the first two. You know, I like I said, I really don't know too much about him. I just made sure I did whatever I had to do in my training camp to where, you know, when the cage door shut, and I got to handle business, though.
Yeah, and I could be mistaken, but I believe the way that he's winning his 5 wins is 1 by decision, 2 by submission, and then 2 by KO or TKO. So, you know, we kind of joke about it, you know, when people say you're an all-around good fighter, meaning that you're really not great in any one area. But he has shown to be proficient enough in those 2 categories to earn wins that way. But again, you're Ryan Martinez, man. I remember that standing guillotine that you got here in Colorado, and it was crazy.
And dude, what's crazy is I haven't even got to showcase my real ability. You know what I mean? Like, Alvin Robinson came in and worked with us, and he kind of tripped out. You know, just the way I rolled, and shit. Alvin was a good addition to my camp, man. He came in and worked certain angles, certain things with me as far as my jiu-jitsu goes, and dude, Alvin's nuts, man. That's the only word for the guy.
Yeah, he is crazy, but we also got to watch that crazy language. We're on the radio.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're on the
man.
radio, Ryan. Kill me, Smalls. Now, Ryan, you know, we can kind of look back at this last year and definitely see that it's been a transition year. You know, thankfully, you know, and luckily for you, it's been a transition to a lot of positive things. At this point in time, have you allowed yourself to kind of sit back and maybe just daydream just a little bit about what your future holds?
Nah, man. When I was in trouble and everything else, I've just learned to take everything one day at a time. I don't look too much forward, and I don't look at all back, you know. So whatever happens, I'm sure God will send me in the right direction, man.
You planning on staying in Hawaii for a few days, regardless of the outcome?
Yeah. I'm flying out Monday. I get back the following Friday. So I fight that Saturday. I'm coming back the Friday after.
Nice.
My youngest is flying out there with my wife. She flies for free, so we might as well just make a little trip out of it. Her sister's stationed down there in Honolulu in the Navy.
Wow.
Ah, nice.
So I got family out there. I got a bunch of friends out there. So the outcome is me getting my hand raised and then celebrating that whole week and hopping back into camp for the finals.
Well, you're going to have to send me a plane ticket. I mean, J-Merc can fit in one of your suitcases or a big duffel bag. Well, medium-sized duffel bag.
For sure.
Now, you're talking about the match, Ryan, and Jared kind of talked to you about your approach. Now, the first fight you had here, you kind of stood in the middle of the cage. You controlled it real well. Are you looking at doing the same kind of thing in this particular situation, or are you just going to take whatever he gives?
Honestly, dude, I didn't even picture the first fight going that way. I spent most of camp working off the cage in case he tried to rush me, and a lot of takedown defense, a lot of shoot, reshoot, just wrestling. And I was expecting a lot more from the guy. This fight, the guy's 1 inch smaller than me, which I've never fought in anybody that's my size. So I'm looking at it as a fun fight, man.
Nice. It's awesome when you can look forward to that. And again, it's a different breed, these MMA fighters. When you look forward to conflict like this, I mean, this is something you guys do, and it's something you guys love to do. So it's awesome to hear people that passionate about their sport.
I'm just excited because I don't have to worry about bobbing and weaving, ducking, because the dude's got a 6-inch reach on me. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
that's part of a lot of my camp is just how I'm going to get into these guys and work the inside. This guy, you might see a lot of striking, a lot of different stuff coming from me. You never know, man. We'll see when the door shuts.
Nice. And you can catch Ryan's fight January 21st, ProElite. I believe the name of the card is Da Spyder versus Minowaman. And again, it's located in. What'd you say?
Minowaman.
This guy's always correcting me, Ryan. This guy's always correcting me. Ryan, we appreciate your time, especially so close to fight time here. Was there any sponsors or thank yous you wanted to send out?
Yeah, I'd like to send a shout out to Fender Management, to Trauma MMA, to Intimidation Fight Gear, Self-Made Fight Gear. I'd like to send a shout out to One Stop Fitness, God, my wife, all my partners that came in and helped me during this camp, and everybody that's going to be watching, supporting me.
You want to thank Tim Tebow because everybody else is.
No, man, I'm not much for that.
Nice. Again, Ryan, we appreciate your time, buddy, and good luck.
Right on, man. Thank you.
Look,
Bye.
Ryan.
Man, this is the first dude from Denver I heard not showing love to the Tebow.
I know, and I don't want to argue with him about anything. I don't want to correct him on his cursing because he's a big guy. I don't want to get him angry at me, so I'll let you tell him he can't curse on air.
Yeah, it's all right. I got away with words, saying them
Smooth
wrong
talker.
and all kinds of different stuff. But I think that Ryan surprised a lot of people outside of Colorado with his first fight in Pro Elite. I think this fight is definitely going to be a tougher situation for him. People are planning for him now. It's kind of like Tim Tebow and the Broncos. You come out and you do all this fancy stuff or all this basic stuff, and it's only going to work until people can game plan for you. Ryan, this dude's had time to game plan for you. So
Yeah,
I would
but I
certainly
mean, like
expect a
Ryan
different
said,
fight.
he still hasn't even fully shown all his skills.
Didn't even
and
scratch the surface of his
yeah, I
skill
mean,
set.
we saw the standing guillotine, but I know he's got some skills on the ground, and then adding my man Alvin Robinson into some training. Alvin's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so Ryan is a great wrestler. He's got heavy hands, and it seems like his ground game is sneaky good. So.
I underestimated his cage control, really. I mean, the way that he stood in the middle of that cage last time and just completely dominated from the outside. He shut a wrestler down, and it was a thing of beauty, really. I mean, if you ever want to see how to keep somebody out of their game plan, watch that fight, because that's the perfect way of doing it.
Yeah, he definitely fought like a veteran, really composed, and was able to shut down a really great wrestler. So that was a great win for him.
It was awesome, just like the rest of the show is going to be. Coming up next, we got Jared's childhood hero, Diamond Dallas Page.
Two-time heavyweight champion of the world.
We also got a free ticket giveaway in the last segment when we're talking about UFC Rio. It's going to be the great rest of the show. Make sure you're brushed up on your trivia because we will be quizzing you. But I do look forward to Diamond Dallas Page.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it's going to be crazy. You ready?
I'm ready.
You got your suspenders on?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Got my wrestling buddy.
This is the MMA Meltdown Radio Show here on Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7.
MMA Meltdown, powered by Zions. Available at your local King Supers, Loaf and Jug, Jenny's Market, Circle K convenience stores, and 7-Eleven.
Self-high five.
Man, Dan is on point today. Getting nuts with the DDP.
Bringing
intro
back
music.
memories. I love it.
Man, I'm super excited about our next guest. I know Jay Merck is. Jay Merck is such a huge fan of our next guest that his screen name for Sherdog is
Sure
what?
Dog.
Whatever. What's your password?
It's not my
Or your
password. It's my username. Two-time. In honor of Diamond Dallas Page.
Diamond Dallas Page. What's going on, buddy?
Dude, that's awesome. but I showed you at one point you had to stop watching or something because they put that damn strap on me for the third time, and I was like, no, I don't want that.
It's ruining it. No.
Now, we're an MMA show, Diamond, and, there may be people out there asking, what the heck is Diamond Dallas Page doing on an MMA radio show? But the truth of the matter is you got this thing coming out, or it's already out, DDPYoga. It ain't your mama's yoga. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, you guys are familiar with Tap Out Magazine and MMA Worldwide, right?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Well, MMA Worldwide, I had an article this last issue here for Christmas or December that was DDPYoga, the best kept secret in mixed martial arts.
Nice.
And the reason why the editor, Chris Staub, wrote that was he did my workout. He's doing my workout. And he understands that how important flexibility is, core strength, zero impact on your body while you're increasing your flexibility, getting a kick-ass cardiovascular workout. He was blown away. And he was like, dude, this is so, for every athlete, but especially mixed martial artists, because a lot like professional wrestlers, they tend to get hurt. How many times going into a fight are 100%?
Not many.
Close to zero almost.
I mean, we can look at serious injuries. Just George St. Pierre just recently had to cancel, tore his ACL.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
all these guys train so hard. Everything that they do that prepares them for a match all right, when they're going into a 6-week or an 8-week camp. Think of all the things that they do that is impactful on their body, from lifting weights to sparring, to hitting the bag, to the ropes, to that sledgehammer, to the tire. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on, abusing their body. Now, how much real flexibility training do they really do? Most guys wouldn't be caught dead doing yoga. I get that. I was that guy. And to really understand why it's so important, because one of the biggest realities of professional wrestling is you can't fake gravity. And we are hurt all the time, but we work through injuries. I ruptured my L4 and L5, and I had 3 doctors tell me my career was over. But for people who don't know, Diamond Dallas Page is out there and they're just listening and going, yeah, what the hell is DDP doing on there? I didn't start wrestling until I was 35.
Wow.
My career
I didn't know that.
did not take off until I was 40.
Jeez.
So I was constantly trying to find ways to hold back the hands of time.
Right.
So I became this grand guru of icing my body. Deep muscle. I was the first guy to ice my body in pro wrestling. They laughed at me. Now they all do it. Deep muscle massage, chiropractic, applied kinesiology, organic juicing, eating for health, as opposed to just eating for for food, eating to heal my body. And I learned all this stuff as I'm going through, as I'm my career takes off when I'm 40. That was in 1996. 97 and 98, I was on top of the world. Then I ruptured my L4 and L5. 3 doctors said I was over. I'm doing the rehab. I just signed a multi-million-dollar 3-year deal. So depression,
Gone.
I can imagine.
My girl Kim at the time, she's like, why don't you try doing yoga to heal your body? I'm like, yoga? F that. I ain't doing that. I wouldn't be caught dead doing yoga.
I'm DDP.
I'm the two-time champion of the world.
Exactly.
I thought the
I'm a
Downward
man.
Dog was
I'm
a
man's
pet store.
man. Yeah, so I wouldn't, but I had to, because you'll do whatever you need to do to live the dream. Am I right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So-
Millions of dollars on the line. You're going to do what it takes.
But it was also living a dream, man. Since I was 8 years old, I wanted to be in this spot, and I dreamed it. Now all of a sudden I manifested it into being a reality. And now they're telling me it's done. So I'm doing the rehab, and I'm trying this yoga stuff, and I'm realizing, wow, some of this stuff really works. I really can't follow this guy teaching me, but I can figure it out and modify it. And I fell down a lot, and I couldn't really do a lot in the beginning. But over the next 3 weeks, I started to get a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more core strength. So I started mixing it with the rehab. Then I added in old school calisthenics, because I couldn't do a push-up, squat push-up. I had to lower my knees like a chick. Instead of just lowering, I would lower 3, 2, 1, and hold there 3 inches off the ground for 3, then push up 3, 2, 1, then lower 3, 2, 1, hold 3, 2, 1. Eventually, I get off my knees. Eventually, 3 seconds turned into 5 seconds. 5 seconds turned into 10 seconds, then sets of 10 seconds. So now my body's getting stronger as I'm doing these slow motion, old school calisthenics mixed with these yoga positions, mixed with these rehab. I've rehabbed 2 shoulder rotator cuff tears, 2 meniscus tears in my left knee, an ACL and meniscus in my right knee, and now I'm in the lower back, my area, the L4 and L5. So my workout is constantly healing, breaking up scar tissue. But the thing that I found out that made it completely its own animal, not yogic at all, is dynamic resistance. And what that is, I got on the Stairmaster because I finally was feeling strong enough that I got on Stairmaster, and I never grabbed onto the handles. I always had 2 dumbbells in my hands, 2 pounds, and I would do the roller coaster. But I have it mixed with my heart rate. You guys, when you train with a heart rate monitor, or do you even know about it?
Of course.
Yeah.
If you train too hard, it's like your engine in your car.
Right.
What?
Diamond Dallas Page is going crazy.
That's what happens when you blow out your back or your knee or your hip. Your body, you're pushing it too hard. No pain, no gain doesn't always work, especially when you're over 30.
Right.
For sure.
So-
Now, let me jump in real quick. Now, you've kind of combined all these things, the rehab, the calisthenics, the yoga. Was this all something that you kind of did on your own just through trial and error, or were you working with any other experts to kind of, perfect this own kind of unique art?
Fine tune it.
I worked with a couple of one main guy, Dr. Craig Aaron, who's an applied kinesiologist and knows the body inside and out. So we did brainstorm a lot of stuff off each other. But how I found out about the dynamic resistance was strictly by accident. And what happened is I was on the Stairmaster, and I would not take my heart rate. At the time, I was 42. So you take 42 less your age, which is 138. I was staying right around 135. I didn't want to go over 138. When I was doing my cardio, then I got on the mat and started doing what I was calling at the time yoga for normal people. And that's what I was calling it, And I would do those push-ups, and I was doing a 10-second push-up, and I realized when I went to go to the next move, my heart rate was like 140. I was like, how the hell is that possible?
Just jumping.
So then I got it like into a warrior position, and Shawn Michaels will grab does the double bicep pose. He does the middle. What I did in cables, and I grabbed it like those cables, like 35-pound cables, and I was pulling in and squeezing my muscles as I was pulling in 3, 2, 1, and holding it there, and I'm watching my heart rate go 128. 129, 130, 131, 132, and then I push back out, pull back in, 135, 136. Now let go of my muscles. Now my heart rate came down. I went, wow, this is crazy. So what I started doing was flexing my quads, flexing my glutes. What's the main thing? When you're on the mat, and I'm talking about MMA, I'm not talking about professional wrestling, where if I'm in a professional wrestling match, if my buddy's knee is blown out and we still got to work the main event, I'm going to work around it. It's a UFC fighter, Strikeforce, or just one of the local gyms that's putting on some fights, that guy's going after the knee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when they engaging, and it was really interesting because Justin McCulley, he was in UFC for a number of years. We had done the workout together with a bunch of fighters down in Costa Mesa, and he said, dude, it is incredible to me that you have found something that with this engaging of your muscles, because if I get on a side mount, and he went and he grabbed one guy and got into him, and he took his right hand underneath his head, and his other arm came across and his legs spread out. He goes, I'm engaging through my step into my upper body, and I'm trying to move around. Now, of course, I'm going to disengage to move to the next position, but to be engaging all those muscles again. He goes, and you have us controlling our breath, which is another thing that I do. So when you asked me, did I have a bunch of people help me? I had a few, people add some what I call salt and pepper, but I sort of fell into this by accident.
You were the Chef Boyardee.
I wouldn't be caught dead eating that shit.
Oh, gotta watch the language, buddy.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. We got a dump button.
Well,
We're on a nice delay.
Diamond Dallas Page.
That was good. Sorry. But the bottom line is I got this workout that what the guys need, all the mixed martial artists out there, and I'm talking about at the junior level on up to the pros, they need to be doing some sort of, use the word loosely, yoga. But my workout is something that they will totally relate to because it's, from the positions to the attitude to the mindset. I'm doing stuff at 55 years young that I've never done before.
Nice.
That I've never done before. And I know how to take them to the next level. And they need that time when they're healing and stretching out in between. Something like I just worked out with Josh Barnett. He was blown away by the workout. I had his heart rate as high as 185. And just for him to show him where he could go with it. He loves to jack his heart rate up, and then how fast can he bring it down?
Right.
He was in his fat burning zone within the first 3 minutes of a workout that he never left the mat. And all it was elongating his muscles. And so now he's made it part of his workout. And we're going to get together when I'm in LA. We're going to get together a couple times a week and start working towards the fight. So I'm getting him to add this to his workout, which is pretty cool.
For sure.
Really.
Now, for our guests listening, how do they find out more about the product, or how do they get enrolled in the program? Just to get more information on it and get started with these workouts.
Well, it's funny because I always say DDPYoga.com, and I normally had that in about 10 times already. but we were having such a conversation, I forgot I was on radio.
Nice. That's what we want, DDP. You're hanging out with
Very-
you're hanging out with your friends.
Old fans.
Just come to Colorado. We'll get a bunch of these MMA cats out here. We'll get a little seminar going, and we'll throw it down.
But I'll tell you what, it's so funny you say that because if you go to ddpyoga.com, I've actually got a button up there that says "Do the workouts," and we're just putting together workshops. We're putting together seminars, certifications. I'm telling you right now. And when I told everybody that I was going to be a professional wrestler when I was 35 years old, Michael P.S. Hayes fell down laughing.
Yeah.
Right? 5 years later, he called me up after I had a match with Sting on Nitro, and he was hoping I wasn't going to be there. So he's hoping that he could leave a message, and I called him. Like, hey, Mike, what's up? And he was cussing up and down. He goes, you weren't supposed to answer the phone.
Nice.
I go, you want me to hang up so you can leave a message? He said, no, I got you on here now. Damn, please. I've never been so happy to eat crow my whole life, man. You've blown up. You've done it. You did what you said you were going to do. I'm telling you, DDP Yoga in 3 years will be a household name.
That's awesome,
And
DDP. We appreciate your time, buddy. We're going into break here. Again, check out Diamond Dallas Page Yoga's workout here on ddpyoga.com. There's a bunch of testimonials. Tito Ortiz is on there. Dan Severin's on there. It's awesome. Diamond, man, again, all I can do is thank you for your time.
Hey, guys, thanks for having me.
No
No
problem.
problem.
Thank you, man. Good talking.
Man, Diamond Dallas Page was just on the MMA Meltdown Show.
That was awesome. He's a passionate guy. He was getting into that.
You know,
Very
somebody knows their
in-depth.
craft when they could just go straight with it.
Yeah. I don't even know if he knew anyone else was on the line. He was just going.
He said it was
just
a
went with it.
conversation. Didn't even think he was on the radio. But we are, and you are listening to the MMA Meltdown Radio Show here on Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7.
MMA Meltdown, powered by Zions. Available at your local King Supers, Loaf and Jug, Jenny's Market, Circle K convenience stores, and 7-Eleven.
It's the infamous mob, M-O-B-B. Can't be touched, can't you see? G-Nate, you man, 'cause me, I'm gonna do my thing. You know I do my thing.
Man, Dan's going crazy. He's like DJ Dan. He's the Mile High Sports Club DJ.
Hip-hop head over here.
They'll get you anything from, who else? Who?
In Sync,
NSYNC,
Rage Against the
Beastie
Machine,
Boys.
Beastie Boys.
DDP,
Hip Hop
DDP
Anonymous.
theme music.
I like
I
it.
figured that would be a nice touch.
That was a
awesome.
great touch.
That was
You
freaking
made me.
fantastic.
I cried.
We seem semi-professional with that
I had a
touch,
very
sir.
nostalgic moment.
Dan got on the phone with DDP and said, you know what? I'm never going to get this chance again. You're awesome. You're awesome.
You have to in
You're
that
awesome.
situation.
You're awesome. I agree. I would have done the same thing, Dan. I'm a
Dan,
face-
are you a Broncos fan? Tebow fan? What's going on?
Didn't you see my orange champ jersey when you guys walked in?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Who is it?
I'm a Bronco fan. I'm not a Tebow fan. As long as Tim Tebow was the quarterback of the Denver Broncos, I'm hoping he plays well. Just like I did with Kyle Orton, and then when Kyle failed to play well,
But why are you not a fan of him?
You weren't
I
a
am a
fan
fan.
of old Neckbeard?
Well, you said you're a fan of the Broncos, but you're not a fan of Tebow.
Well, I'm not a Tebow specific fan.
Are you not a Tebow fan, or are you not a Tebow hype fan?
I'm not a Tebow hype fan.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
I'm
the
all
same
about
way.
the Tebow hype.
You are all about.
See,
Tebow
I
hype.
mean,
I'm an Eagles fan, so I don't really care that much, but
I get into this argument a lot because a lot of people tend to think I lean against Tebow whenever I try to give credit to anyone else on the team. But I liked him. I thought he played awesome on last Sunday. I thought the Broncos won that game very heavily based on how he threw the ball and how he played.
Jay Merck tried to lean against him one time, and it kind of creeped Tebow out. So. He stayed
Oh.
away from him, you know what I mean?
I saw Tebow at my strength and conditioning place one day, and since then I've been telling people that we're teammates.
Nice.
Yeah.
Take the UFC.
Yeah, that's my teammate. We do strength and conditioning together.
Nice. You guys are crazy. Man, the Broncos have a huge task ahead of them in the New England Patriots playing in New England. It's nuts. But it's such a great night for Colorado fans, not only football fans, but fight fans as well, with UFC Rio going on tonight almost immediately after the game. I mean, really, they start at 8 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. We kind of talked about the Anthony Johnson situation a little bit earlier with him missing weight. It's great that the fight's still on. Vitor is a warrior. Johnson could have came in there 20 pounds heavier, and Vitor would have took the fight still. So I mean, it's going to be great to see that fight. But really, Aldo versus Mendez. I mean, it's huge. Aldo, took out Uriah Faber in very dominant fashion, killed him with those leg kicks. And Aldo said that Mendes is pretty much Uriah in just a different form.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is he's a bigger, stronger version of Uriah, but he is a better wrestler than Uriah.
Absolutely, and Chad Mendes said the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say Uriah is a more complete fighter, but in terms of what they do well with that wrestling, Mendes is at the top of the heap at 145. Now Uriah is at 135, so you see the size difference there. Normally in those pre-fight shows.
Excuse you.
Thank you. Sorry, the science is.
I'll burp you later.
Joe Rogan's normally going on and on each time. Every time they have a countdown saying this guy has no holes. This time, Jose Aldo, it's kind of legitimate when he says that there's not many weaknesses in his game. One, he's a fantastic athlete. His explosiveness, his hand speed is second to none. He's got great striking with the leg kicks. He totally abused Uriah's legs with those kicks. And he's knocked out a bunch of guys, flying knees. He's big power in his hands. He showed great takedown defense in a number of fights. Mike Brown, Uriah Faber, his most recent fight against Kenny Florian, and he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
I think Mark Hominick laid down a pretty good game plan on how to win.
Well,
Aldo.
He still got destroyed. He had a good fifth round.
That knot on his head was huge.
Yeah, he had a second head growing out of him.
Should have blurred that out because it was borderline inappropriate.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That fight, reportedly he had some issues weight cutting. They actually posted the videos online. He was really struggling to make the weight cut that time, and you could see in the fifth round he kind of gassed out a little bit, was fatigued. Hominick was able to put him on his back and was able to rain down with some ground and pound. So that's the formula that Mendes is going to want to follow. So I think a couple of the X factors in this fight is how Aldo's weight cut went. If it gets to the later rounds, is he going to fatigue again? Because Hominick is not the wrestler that Mendes is. So Mendes, if Hominick could put him on his back in the late rounds, Mendes sure can if he makes it there. There's also been some reports that Aldo's had some injuries over the last couple months, some back injuries and everything. So again, that could affect his training, could affect his weight cut, and just his overall explosiveness. So that the game plan's kind of set for Chad Mendes. If he's going to win, it's not going to be an exciting one. He's going to have to use his wrestling. The thing is, can he do it for 5 rounds without taking damage on the feet? I think that'll be really tough because Mendes is an explosive athlete. He's shown some good striking capability, but I don't think he's confident enough there to really stand for long periods of time and let combinations go. He's kind of punches one punch at a time, then goes for the shot. So obviously I'm rooting for the wrestler, but I think Aldo's overall game is just a little too dynamic.
I think Chad Mendes has more than a puncher's chance in winning this fight. I think a lot of people, they make the mistake when facing Jose Aldo of really just trying to get that single leg. Chad Mendes, as we talked about a little bit earlier, has an outstanding double leg takedown. I think he's going to use that towards his advantage to negate the kicks of Jose Aldo. I think if he does have any success in terms of Jose Aldo, it'll be in the punching, in the striking game with his hands. But I think if Chad Mendes can control the pace of this fight, get two or three takedowns in a round, kind of just stall him out. I mean, I don't mean this in any disrespectful way, but wrestlers have a great way of being able to grind to win out.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think Chad Mendes, has enough skill on his feet to not be completely dominated. And I think he has more than enough skill wrestling-wise to be able to control the fight on the ground in an advantageous situation. I mean, obviously, if Jose gets on top of Chad Mendes, he's going to have his hands full. But, I definitely think that Chad Mendes has a chance here.
Yeah, for sure. I think people are not giving Chad Mendes enough of a shot because anyone as good as a wrestler as he is, I think, is in the fight. I'm still interested to see how his chin is. If Aldo lands some of those knees or punches, how he holds up to them. I'm also curious to see if Aldo will be as committed to the leg kicks as he has been in the past. Obviously he threw a bunch of leg kicks against Faber, so you have to imagine, since Mendes is his teammate, that they have that scouted out. They're going to be prepared to shoot when Aldo throws those kicks. So I'm interested to see what Aldo's game plan will be, whether he tries to box more and keep that range. Not let Mendes in and not give him free opportunities with the leg kicks to grab a hold and get it to the ground.
So write this down. Who are you picking?
I'm still gonna go with Aldo.
You're gonna go. I'm gonna go Mendes.
I like it. I'd be happy if Mendes won. So
yeah.
I'm not hating on that pick.
We're gonna have to come up with a bet.
Another spray tan. My spray tan went away
My
so quick.
spray tan was weak sauce, dude. I mean, for real.
Yeah, I'm not.
Well,
I
not
don't
even
think I'm
gonna
going to go
talk about
back
it
to
again.
that place
It's disrespectful to our
it
listeners
washed
to
away
talk
so
about such a
quickly.
weak tan.
It was-
Disrespectful.
It was a very weak
I don't
tan.
even want to hear about it anymore. We're gonna bet though something.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll figure it out. Moving on. Another fight that I'm looking forward to with great anticipation is Vitor Belfort. You know, the phenom, the legend, facing the Rumble in the tummy Anthony Johnson. You know, I think Anthony Johnson, he's originally when I saw this whole weight cutting situation, you know, I thought that this whole switch back and forth from a heavyweight to in terms of just how heavy he is, you know, the swaying of his weight was just going to be too much physically. And Vitor, I mean, you have to be 100% on your A game in pretty much every category when you face somebody like Vitor. I didn't think that Anthony was going to be able to do enough. But now I kind of look at Anthony as he's an animal, you know, trapped in the corner. And right now his only option is to have basically the fight of his life if he wants to keep his job.
Yeah, I think there was a clear way for him to win. As we've seen over the years, Vitor doesn't like to get in these grueling kind of wrestling bouts where he's put on his back, forced to fight up, forced to, eat the ground and pound. So I think that was going to be Johnson's game plan. He cannot do that now if he wants to keep his job in the UFC. You know, when Dana White's angry at you, it's gonna be hard to get back on his good side, and using a wrestling approach to win the fight will not get on his good side. So he has to feel the pressure to try to stand and bang with Vitor, and I just don't think he can do that. I mean, he's a good striker, he has good power, but he's still hittable, and not many people can match Vitor's hand speed. And if he connects, it's game over. So, it'll be interesting. And plus, like I said yesterday, he was saying he couldn't even feel his legs due to the weight cut illness.
And he's had to be carried downstairs before because of the same type of situation with cutting weight. And it's crazy that he puts himself through that much. Hey, Dan, have we had anybody calling for the tickets?
Yeah, we've got Ann Whipple.
Is she on the line?
Nah, I just took down her information. She just wanted to win the tickets. I'm sorry, guys.
No, that's cool. She got away with it. And Ann Whipple is awesome within the MMA industry.
I thought Ann Whipple already had free tickets. I see her at every MMA show.
She hustles.
That's how she gets them, man.
She's a grinder.
She's calling up all the radio shows.
I know,
exactly.
She's on Facebook thanking me. I'm like, whoa.
I was going to ask her for some tickets if I wasn't on the card. I
was going to hit Ann Whipple up. And I need a job. Can you give me some free tickets that I could work for?
I get $5.
Good, nice. Ann Whipple, you got away with a lucky one because we were going to give you some of the hardest trivia questions ever. But it's all right.
Okay. So is she the winner?
Yeah, she's a winner.
All right.
By default, thanks to Dan.
She called in, didn't even get on, and got
all the
tickets.
great work you did with the music tonight, Dan.
She probably already has a VIP table.
I'm still multitasking back here a little bit, guys. So.
She's got a VIP table. She's just trying to get a couple more friends in.
We can't really say anything about Ann Whipple when we had Doc Alex, who's a ringside physician.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be in the cage.
So good job, man.
He's going to be in the cage cleaning my guy up.
Don't worry, people. If you still want a chance to win free tickets, every show leading up to the event itself, courtesy of Seth Daniels and Fight to Win MMA, we have 2 pairs of tickets to give away every show. So be prepared during the next show, and we'll give out some more tickets for free. But congratulations to Ann Whipple and to Ryan for winning their tickets today, and good luck to those in the future. But kind of getting back to UFC Rio, man, this science got me going crazy.
I know, you're all hyper right now.
Now we're on like our 4th can. I think Zions is definitely a great sponsor for MMA Meltdown. But they're huge in the UFC too. I mean, it says right there, official
sponsor,
official energy drink of the UFC.
Bam, there it is.
Speaking of UFC, still talking about him. So I agree with you. I think Vitor Belfort at this point in time, it just has too much going for him. You know, his obvious skill set is phenomenal. I think, like I was saying a little bit earlier, Anthony Johnson would have had to been on point in every single level, even to have a chance at Vitor. It's his first fight in the higher weight class, but I got to give it to Vitor.
Yep, I'm going with Vitor as well.
Oh, man, why you got to be copying me? How are we supposed to win this bet if you're just picking the same guys I am?
Hey, we're already split on the main event, so we're good to go.
So apart from those fights, I mean, who else on this card are you looking forward to, Merk?
Man, there's actually a lot of good fights. I'm actually really looking forward to the Edson Barboza Terry Edom fight. If you don't know those guys, Edson Barboza is a fantastic striker, very explosive, very quick, really powerful leg kicks. He's just a great Muay Thai fighter. Terry Edom also has really good striking. He's a very long fighter. He's like 6'1" at 155. So I think we could see some really electric striking. Edom does have the ground advantage. He's got some really good guillotines and triangles. So if it hits the ground, I do think he has the advantage there. But I think Barboza has a little more speed and power on the feet. So I'm really looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to Sam Stout getting back in there. He's got great striking. He's fighting Thiago Tavares. So
Yeah.
there's some really good fights on this on the main card as well as the prelims, which are
I
going to
think
be on FX.
I think Thiago Tavares and Sam Stout is definitely one of those fights. And what's intriguing to me about this fight isn't necessarily the matchup between these two, but I really just want to see how Sam Stout's going to react. You know, it's his first fight back without his brother-in-law and his trainer. You know, that's huge. We talked to him on Wednesday, and he said he's had to go through training, you know, in a completely new way now. You know, he's used to hearing just that one voice in his corner telling him what to do and instructing him, and he's had to kind of grab some ownership of his own actions. In addition,
Did he mention who he's working with now as like a striking coach?
Yeah,
or anything like that?
He didn't say specific names, but he did say that he brought in a striking coach and a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach for this particular fight.
Nice.
He also said that they'll both be in his corner for that fight, so that he's gonna not necessarily have trouble picking their voices out of the crowd. He says he knows them well enough to where they're familiar to him. But the real conflict I see is really all going to be in his head. I think there's a lot of stuff going on right now mentally for Sam Stout, and for him to have to get used to a new corner and figure out his own place within his own mind, it's going to be pretty rough.
Yeah, I'm
for
sure
him.
the whole experience will be emotional for him, just being backstage and post-fight, and then, of course, the actual fight. The other one I'm looking forward to real quick, Jersey boy Mike Macenzio going against Huzumar Paharis. Obviously, you know I'm rooting for the Jersey wrestler, baby.
Man, that's really.
Come on.
You can't just pick.
Bring it home,
you can't
Macenzio. Bring
you're-
it home.
You're not there anymore. You can't call that place home.
Oh, it is my home.
You're 303
I
now.
love the 303, but I'm always
you
a
rep
Jersey boy.
Colorado now.
Jersey bred, baby.
You're not even going to fight anymore over in Jersey after this fight, you said.
I am not, but that's
See?
because of the athletic commission.
That's how big Colorado is right now, is that we're converting. People from Cali come with their nonsense and all their Raider
I gotta get my
jabber.
ski
And we
pass.
get Jersey cats over here giving up casinos and stinky sewer rivers. That's what we do.
Wow.
It's been an awesome show. Again, call in next week. We'll give another pair of free tickets away. Next week's show is going to be huge. I can't wait to get to that. But you were listening to the MMA Meltdown Radio Show here on Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7.